guys, what's up? This is JC, Wrong and Strong. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, drop me a comment. You know what it is. We're gonna get a little bit serious today because I gotta talk about a serious topic. And a lot of people have been asking me, why I joined the gang, why I was working in Mexico, in the game, selling drugs, why I was addicted to drugs, just the whole why, because a lot of people think that sometimes, and there is kids out there that actually, grow up in a good home, and they still just choose to be troublemakers, yeah, and there's kids that just grow up in certain circumstances that it's the hand they were dealt. And I didn't really get dealt such a shitty hand. It was shitty, but there's people that have it worse. And I'm gonna start off in the beginning because I think that a lot of guys like me in my situation don't talk about it. And I'm gonna talk about it today. So let's get into this. What's up, guys? JC with Wrong and Strong, and I am Wrong and Strong. And today I am going to talk about something very serious that I think a lot of guys in my situation have been through. Just don't talk about it, or don't express it, or just don't try to get any kind of help because it's a little embarrassing, I guess, But as a kid, my dad abandoned my mom, and he left her to fend for herself with 3 kids. We were really young. All I remember really is us being parked at a hotel in the parking lot because she didn't have no money, and she didn't speak the language, so it was hard for her to find a job. Eventually we ended up moving in with her brother, my uncle, and with time she found a job and everything, and we lived there for quite I want to say about maybe about 3 to 4 years, because then we ended up going to Mexico after that. But this guy was the guy that actually started molesting me, and it was intense. It wasn't just touching and no, it was full on rape, you name it. I mean, it was a lot of sick stuff. And he also tortured me a lot. He would fill the bathtub with cold water and submerge me, pull me out, constantly drowning me. There was 3 things he did: the water, the molestation, and then the third thing was he would lock me in a closet that was completely dark. The first times he locked me in there, I could still see light underneath the door, but then he made it to where I couldn't see no light. At the time, I didn't know how much this was gonna affect me and later in my life. And I grew up with a chip on my shoulder because I kind of felt like my mom should have did something. She should have protected us. She should have, helped us. And it was constant torture. I mean, at night, he would make us just drink a glass of milk with a banana while we watch him eat Frosted Flakes in front of us, being kids. And kids want to eat cereal, they want to read the box in the back, and we couldn't do none of that stuff. And there was so much abuse in that house that even if we opened something without asking. You know, it was really bad beatings, really bad with the belt, but bad. Um, you know, I have a very fond memory of me and my little sister because, you know, we didn't have shit. We didn't have toys. We didn't have nothing. We weren't allowed to watch cartoons on Saturdays. He was he was a monster. And one day I got up and we didn't have bikes, but our neighbors had bikes. So I went over and I stole a bike for her. I stole a bike for myself, and we left. And I'll never forget that day because we drove around on our bikes literally from like 10 in the morning till about 6 p.m. Like, I already knew what was going to happen when I got back. But to me, it was worth to see my little sister smiling and laughing and just having a good time. I always volunteered when I knew that the act was coming of the molestation, so I could try and keep them as much away from my sisters. But I didn't realize how much this was gonna affect me later in my life. I mean, not just mentally, but personally too. I mean, it's one of the biggest reasons why I slept around, I guess, so much, and you know, it was almost to prove to myself that I didn't like men, that I liked women, and it caused a really big dent in my life because I didn't know how to have a relationship. And I used to think that everything was based off of sex. I mean, everything. You meet a woman, you have sex, and that was it. But it was because of everything that took place with me as a child and what he did to me. The torture. I mean, the water took a big effect in my life. To this day, I don't know how to swim. I don't jump in water. I hate to shower. But all the things that he did to me caused an effect in my life. And the dark room, it's barely been this year that I've actually slept in a dark room now. I've always slept with a nightlight. I mean, even in prison they have, you know, they have the light, so I was good there. But, you know, the reason why I want to share this is it's very, very important that you watch who's watching your kids. It's very, very important that you know who's watching your kids. I hate to say it like this, but most of the time, the person that does this is close to you and you know them. So, it's very, very important that you guys be very, very careful. You know, I had to go through a lot of therapy and a lot of self-help stuff to actually get better. And I'm not embarrassed to talk about it no more. I'm not embarrassed to share it because there's a lot of people that have been through this. A lot of tough guys, you know. I used to think I was tough. But they've been through this, and it's one of the biggest reasons why we have anger problems, one of the biggest reasons why we're like self-destructive. A lot of people turn to drugs and end up, you know, drug addicts and their whole lives, and it's all that self-doubt, it's all that you feel guilty, you feel dirty. It's all that stuff that it makes you feel long-term if you really don't, you know, get help and actually focus on getting better. I didn't realize it was such a big problem in my life until I started getting older. And, you know, I've shared in the past how I didn't know how to have a relationship with a woman. I didn't even know how to be a friend or even a dad. You know, these are all stuff that I've been in a hurry to try and learn these past couple of years. You know, and I share this story and this experience that happened to me so you guys, you know, share it if you guys have been through it also, because that's the only way we're going to get better. You know, if we help one another get back up. If I fall and I'm behind you, I expect you to turn around and give me a hand and get me up so I can run with you. You know, and that's what I'm doing now. I actually want to turn around and pick somebody up, because I know a lot of people have been through what I've been through and don't share it because they're embarrassed, or, you know, whatever the reason is. But it does get better, and life does move on, and things do get better. Do I hate him? Yeah, I gotta be honest, I do. I do. He almost destroyed me and my sisters because he was a fucking animal and a monster. And you know, that's my answer of, you know, my childhood and my growing up with a chip on my shoulder, and how mad I was at life, and why did, you know, these things happen to me, and so on, and it made me make a lot of dumb decisions in my life. For a long time, I didn't love myself. I didn't respect my body. Now I understand what it is to respect your body, whether you're a man or a woman, because it's really shitty how, you know, society looks at, like, if a man has sex with, you know, 3 women in one night, you know, it's high fives, man. You're a pimp. But if a woman does it, you know, she's a whore. You know, it's a very double standard world. But, you know, I think in all reality, you know, I want to lead by example, and actually respect my body, and show that men can be faithful. Men could, you know, love one woman and be with one only. Temptation's always going to be there. But the real man, the one that really wants to, you know, walk with his chest and head up because he's not embarrassed or ashamed, is the one that does what's right when nobody's watching. Because if you only do what's right when people are watching, then you're fake. You're not really real. And it's taken me time to actually realize that and grow. And this is why I share my stories. I share my stories so people could use this channel as a learning tool and experience somewhat my life through their eyes when they watch it and hear my story. It was very, very important for me to share this. It was hard for me to open up. You know, a big thing that my therapist, my psychiatrist told me, you know, when I was younger, is that I had every red flag to become somebody really bad. And she was surprised how big of my heart was to still love and want to change. So I leave you with that, guys. That's my childhood. I shared it with you guys. I hope that you guys, you know, take something from this. And, you know, my name is JC. I am Wrong and Strong. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. There's going to be a lot of new stuff coming in next week and the week after that. I actually want to do a little mini series on, you know, gangster movies and, you know, stuff that I've watched, pretty much stating whether it's close to what it really is or if it's not. And then we have the rest of the cartel members that I need to put up and explain what their stuff was. So stay tuned. Thank you, guys.